Hello, everybody. Oh, hello, Professor. How are you? Welcome back to another edition of Come Get Some Survivor Series preview. We're less than a week away from the big event coming to you from wherever the hell it's coming to you from. I believe
Texas. I don't
it's where the hell is it this year?
United States somewhere.
It's somewhere. I should know this because of the takeover. Is it Dallas again? I don't even remember. Either way, though, we're coming to you live from our studio, which is in the nether regions of parts unknown, to give you our Raw and SmackDown review and our SmackDown versus Raw Survivor Series preview, which I know you have all been waiting with bated breath for. We just came off the heels of eating a delicious chicken sandwich. We're not going to spoil anything, but if you'd like to check it out, check out our YouTube page, and you can see us review some of your favorite fast food. Just one of the things we do here, one of the many talents that we have, eating and talking about it. So let's start off with Raw last week. So Raw. So Raw Jelly. Raw Jelly.
I think it's a fraudulent.
Is that a new word?
Is that fraudulent?
I think we should patent that, the fraudulence. Raw General Manager Kurt Angle appeared on Miz TV, and debacle ensued. What did you think of this segment with Raw General Manager Kurt Angle appearing on Miz TV?
Actually, when I was reading this, I thought it said Kurt Angle appeared on the Miz, and I'm like, he said, "Get off me."
That's on a different pay-per-view channel.
What he just told him that he had to fight Braun. That's all I remember.
Pretty much was all.
You're fighting Braun.
It's just the constant back and forth between the Miz thinking that all the authority figures are this and that, and pretty much telling him you're fighting Braun, and there was nothing the Miz could do about it. Big deal. Nothing special here, just kind of setting up that match for Braun to come in and destroy Miz. Jason Jordan defeated Elias in a guitar and a pole match. Now, a very interesting match. Obviously, winning the match does not mean that you get up there and get the guitar off the pole. Winning the match means after somebody gets the guitar off the pole, you have to hit the guy with the guitar. So Elias actually grabbed the guitar off the pole, was not successful in using it. However, Jason Jordan was. What did you think of Jordan versus Elias in this guitar and a pole match?
It was fun, but I would have rather seen a Jason Jordan on a pole match. Like if you grab Jason Jordan, you
stick right up his ass.
You could hit Jason Jordan with the. I mean, it was fun, but our guy lost.
Yeah, he did.
He lost.
He did, but he wasn't pinned, so that's an important factor here. He loses nothing.
Very important.
He was losing nothing here.
He was just smashed with a balsa wood guitar.
Yes, but either way, still continue to be impressed with Elias. Clearly, they're building up Jason Jordan. He was also asked to be a part of Team Raw by his father, Kurt Angle. So that will comprise the rest of the Raw team, making it Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, Kurt Angle as the captain. We've got somebody else who I can't think of right now. It was Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Smoking Joe, Jason Jordan, Kurt Angle, and Braun Strowman. So pretty solid team for Team Raw. Nonetheless, Jordan defeats Elias. I don't know if anything is going to be coming of this afterwards, but nothing crazy here.
Actually, I like Jason Jordan more now than I did before. He's grown on me.
Well, I think eventually he's definitely going to be turning heel. Maybe we'll even see some seeds planted at Survivor Series.
Farming.
Like the seed that Kurt Angle planted to make Jason Jordan. We'll see where that's going. Right now he's very hokey and he's very plain gear, plain song, plain gimmick. So we'll see if that evolves. Asuka defeated Stacey Coates in what was a pretty rather squashy type match here. Gave her big moves, put her out pretty quickly. What'd you think of this one?
I was trying to think of what Stacey Coates' original name was, like Stacey Windbreaker. How'd you get Stacey Coates? That could be her real name.
Maybe she's married to famous Patriots tight end Ben Coates. Asuka keeps being built up now. I cannot see. My guess is obviously. Well, I'll give you the predictions later for Survivor Series. But Asuka clearly on her way to superstardom here at Raw. Impressive victory over Stacey Coates. Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe. Now, great match.
Oh yeah,
very good match. These guys have a history. They wrestled a lot in NXT, especially for the title, flip-flop titles a couple times. Ended in a double count-out. Clearly, this was done to have them have an impressive match, but also to have them kind of in a position where at the end of the match they're told by Kurt Angle to get together, stop fighting, and be on the same team here, which clearly they weren't. But there was a house show over the weekend where Samoa Joe came out with Finn Balor together. And
in his arms. He carried him out.
And attacked the New Day. And in fact, Samoa Joe took the role of Roman Reigns in the triple powerbomb by the Shield. So it seems like everybody's cohesive for Survivor Series. We'll give our predictions, like we said, in a little bit. Sasha Banks Sasha Banks and her friend Bayley there defeated Alicia Fox and Nia Jax. What did you think of this crap?
I don't know. The captain, the whole captain thing, I get it. With Alicia Fox, she's the captain. But the captain's hat, the whole terrible pilot thing, it's a little, I don't know, there's something about it that gets under my skin.
Her crazy gimmick is stupid. She's not crazy, she's just dumb. It's just over the top stupid, this captain thing.
They should have gone with Sea Captain.
Like they could have made it even funny. I think they started it off right, but it's just gotten kind of over the edge. It's just not entertaining me whatsoever. Maybe they did this to placate her because of her complaining, but either way, it just doesn't work for me. But nonetheless, right now there's an open spot on the Survivor Series team, and a lot of people think that it might be Bayley. A lot of people thinking it's could be a returning superstar. We'll talk about that in a little while as well. Braun Strowman defeated Intercontinental Champion The Miz via disqualification. So again, Braun comes out, knocking the crap out of Miz. What did you think of the finish of this one with the disqualification?
It was great, but it was missing garbage truck. More garbage truck. And then now, when did Braun Strowman become synonymous with trash?
You know what? That whole thing was just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Sound like Charles Barkley now. It's terrible. We talked about this last week. I mean, the way that it was done, where Braun kind of just like rises from the ashes and goes like this and from the garbage truck. I mean, listen, I worked on a garbage truck for a couple years.
I was inside of a garbage truck.
See? Broke my leg on a garbage truck. Let me tell you something. If that trash compactor comes down, you're not. I don't care who you are. You're not surviving.
Yeah, no way.
So it's a really ridiculous gimmick. Nonetheless, he defeats Intercontinental Champion The Miz by disqualification. I'm looking for big things from Braun after Survivor Series.
Not garbage related. Just
no garbage.
Stop the garbage truck stuff.
No garbage whatsoever. So we'll see what happens with Braun after Survivor Series. I'm interested to see who he's thrown into a feud with. WWE United Kingdom Champion Pete Dunne, one of my favorites right now, defeated WWE Cruiserweight Champion Enzo Amore in pretty nice fashion here. Pete Dunne, not sure you're very familiar with him.
I'm not.
He had possibly one of the best matches I've seen. I don't even know how long. At the last NXT takeover, or was it the last NXT takeover, or a couple months ago? Oh, it was before the summer. Geez, I don't know what I'm talking about. With Tyler Bate for the UK Championship. The guy is awesome. He's got a very unique look and gimmick to him. He's the bruiserweight.
Yeah, he's a little bruiser.
He defeated Enzo Amore. What did you think of this one and the debut on the main roster for Pete Dunne?
I thought it was cool. He definitely seems mean. He's got that going for him. And his last name is Dunn, so I don't know what his finisher is, but I hope it's called the Dunn Deal. I'm guessing. Is it?
I don't believe so.
Oh, come on.
I don't believe so. Do you remember Timothy Well and Stephen Dunn, the tag team known as Well Done?
No, but that's cool. See?
Anyway,
it writes itself. The Done Deal.
The Done Deal. Yeah, listen, I couldn't think of anything better than that. I don't remember what the name of his finisher is, but it's
one and
it's
done,
a cool spinning like thingy. Whatever.
The cool spinning thing.
That's what it should be called. The cool spinning thing. Nonetheless, great debut for Pete Dunne.
The pinwheel.
Spinning around. I don't know if he'll be on WWE TV for a long period of time. I mean, they were in UK last week, so maybe that's why he was able to debut on TV. But nonetheless, good opening for him. Cesaro and Sheamus beat Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins to become the new Raw Tag Team Champions. Surprised by this?
Me, yeah. You know.
Yeah, same here. Twice, we'll get to the second one, but twice this week, matches for Survivor Series were changed up by title changes. So this definitely came out of the bar.
Which is exactly where they headed right after the match.
Yes, especially Sheamus.
Pint?
I need a pint of Guinness, fella. Either way, though, a surprise, the New Day came in out of the crowd, just like the Shield. and the whole Raw rocker room.
Rocker room.
And I'm not going there.
I'm Asian, so
yeah.
I am half Asian. So
well, you could say it.
I can say it.
The whole Raw locker room came out and dispensed and tried chasing after the Shield. At which point, everybody was kind of distracted. Brogue kicked to Seth Rollins, and we got new tag team champions. So
chaos.
It looks like now the Usos will be taking on the Bar instead of the Shield. But there are other plans for the Shield in place, and we'll get to that soon as well. So that was it for Raw, unless we're missing something.
I think that might be it.
I think that might be it as well. Nothing else crazy happening. The guys were still out with their little illness there, so we moved on to a historic episode of SmackDown in which Shane McMahon and the New Day kicked off SmackDown Live. Hokey. To which we come to a point where Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn come out, and it started off a whirlwind this week. They come out. Shane McMahon makes a match between Kofi Kingston and Sami Zayn. That match goes on. Kofi Kingston gets the win. After the match, Kevin Owens comes in, gives a couple shots, retreats, asks Sami Zayn to come with him. They retreat to the back. You don't really think anything of it. It turns out that the WWE had plans for them after the match. Not sure whether or not they didn't follow the rule, the edict that came from the back, or what the case was. But
weren't they supposed to go back and fight?
Yeah, it was supposed to be that they were supposed to go back in. From what we read, you never can fully believe.
They went into business.
They went into the business for themselves, meaning that they didn't. They did what they wanted and didn't listen to what the creative team had for them.
Which is weird because when I heard that online, I didn't realize that was a term, so I assumed that they opened up a taco stand, outside,
right in the middle of the aisle.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fresh tacos.
From what I've been seeing, that they didn't follow exactly what was supposed to happen. They got kicked off the European tour and sent home. There was also some word that they had Kevin Owens was being loud and boisterous on a bus, but apparently he wasn't even on the bus. So there's a lot of stuff that's not even true.
He was driving the bus.
He was under the bus. They threw him under the bus.
Yeah.
So regardless, listen, I love KO. Sami Zayn's not my favorite guy, but I'm hoping that as a heel he'll come out of his shell a little bit. But, you never know what to believe with all these dirt sheets and all the rumors going around. So hopefully nothing serious with KO and Zayn. But that was the first thing that happened. So, Kingston beat Zayn. So we'll see what happens. This week should be really interesting to see if those guys are back on TV after the European tour, which they did not finish. Randy Orton beat Rusev to deny Rusev a spot on the SmackDown Survivor Series team. What the hell's going on?
I don't know. I just think Rusev is basically a jacked up Borat right now. He's
Thank you much.
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice. A sexy time.
He's not bad at the comedy. So
I think that's what they're going to be doing. I think eventually what's happening now is they're going to try to make him a baby face from what I see. And maybe even a tag team with Aiden English, which wouldn't be the worst thing. I mean, if you don't have something for somebody, sometimes putting them in a tag team, doesn't seem great at first, but ends up working out.
The one guy named English, the other one can't speak it very well.
It's a perfect match made in heaven.
Bad English.
Look at Breezango, two guys who had nothing going on. They put them together, and now they're comedy gold. Now, although they don't wrestle anymore,
unfortunately.
Nonetheless, they're still entertaining. So, Rusev trying to find his way. Orton makes his way onto... Orton was already on Team SmackDown. So, Rusev not on Team SmackDown. They still had one spot to go, which apparently was filled, and we'll get to that as well. Becky Lynch defeated James Ellsworth in the Battle of the Sexes. What did you think of this debacle?
I don't know. I thought maybe Ellsworth would do something crazier, like come out dressed as something. I don't know. It just was kind of like, eh.
It was bad. Bad segment. Let's not do this again, guys.
Is that how he lost?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Let's not do this again, okay? The experiment failed. Just have him chained up to Carmella and whatever you want to do from there. But this is not working. The Ellsworth thing, his comedy is okay. Obviously you can't take him serious as a wrestler in big matches or anything like that. So how do you use him as a manager? But he's not the greatest actor in the world, and I pull for the guy. He's an underdog, and I pull for the guy. But let's face it, right now it's not really doing a whole lot. So, women's division, though, it'll be a 5-on-5.
Fatal
5-way versus 5-way. No, it's 5-on-5. And then you also have the women's championship match, which as of right now is Natalia. Excuse me, not women's championship match. The two women's champions will face off, which as of right now is Alexa Bliss versus Natalia. But I believe this week on SmackDown we have Charlotte versus Natalya for the championship. So if that changes, then it will be Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte. So we shall see what happens there. Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable beat the Usos via countout. Now, clearly, this is setting up a tag team championship match for these two once the Survivor Series is over. What did you think of the match between the four of these guys?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. The thing I don't like the fact that the gimmick of Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable are pretty much it's the same thing as American Alpha, just about. Like, I really think that they should give them something different. I don't even know what to do. Like, Shelton all about the Benjamins, have him be about the money or something, and then have, maybe Chad Clark Gable.
He's just a debonair man.
Yeah, gone with the Benjamins, and just have him say, I don't
Frankly, Shelton, I don't give a damn.
I don't give a damn. That could be their new, hey, that would be good. It would be something better than they got now. They both have talent. I just wish they had a better gimmick.
You got to hire this guy, man. Yeah, you know what? Listen, it's definitely forced. You could feel it. I'm sure they're getting some chemistry along the way, but right now it still feels a little forced. Maybe they'll win the championship. Who knows? I'm not sure yet. But as of right now, it's definitely not exactly working for me yet. But we'll see. Poor Gable. They send Jason Jordan off. He becomes Kurt Angle's son, and he gets put in the main event of Survivor Series. And Chad Gable's got Shelton Benjamin. So see what they thought of those two guys. Now, in the main event, we had a title match, which was made last week. It was supposed to be AJ Styles versus Rusev for the spot on this Team SmackDown Survivor Series side, but ended up making it AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. Good main event in which we saw AJ capture the title.
Crazy.
That changes 1,000,001 things. Yeah. Jinder right now is not the champion, going to be heading into the Indian tour. B, AJ now gets inserted into the Brock Lesnar championship match at Survivor Series, which is a whole different ball game. Yeah. To which case, so what we were saying before about a team member for Team SmackDown, the original idea was for John Cena to be the special guest referee between Jinder and Brock. Yeah, exactly. And now you won't see him. Well, you will, but just not in that match. So it was going to be that, and then I guess he was going to cost Jinder the match, which would have led to some kind of a feud later on between the two. Still could do that at some point, but right now, AJ is the champ. Jinder not having a spot on the Survivor Series, went from the champ to nothing. Not even a place on Team SmackDown. So what did you think of this title change and all the repercussions that are involved?
Well, actually, I wasn't surprised only because it blew up on Twitter.
Right.
Before I even saw the match, I already knew that.
Yes, in fact, I found out. Did I find out from you about that?
Maybe. Did I blow it for you? Was I the spoiler?
I think you were.
Maybe. But,
I think you were.
Yeah, I would have definitely been more shocked if I didn't know going into watching it. But yeah, it was cool.
It's impossible not to find out.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm surprised they did it on one of those UK shows where they're taped during the day and then they end up airing at night. And if you want to know the spoilers, you can. With the Tag Team Championship and then the following night with the WWE Championship. So things shaken up clearly. Yes. No idea where this is going, whether they're going to put the belt back on him in India, before India, or afterwards at the next pay-per-view.
All three.
Listen, you never know. So couple of quick rumors that are going around, obviously. So DirecTV did spoil the fact that The Shield will take on the New Day at Survivor Series with some promos. These sons of bitches. Yeah, I guess they were going to announce it maybe tonight on Raw or tomorrow night on SmackDown, but regardless, looks like that will be an official match. Speaking of an official match, God, we hope this happens. There was a match, I believe it was a triple threat match in Italy between Jinder Mahal, Shinsuke Nakamura, and AJ Styles. At the end of it, the crowd was chanting for AJ and Shin, chanting for them for WrestleMania. Two got on the mic, and they actually teased a WrestleMania match in which AJ laid down the belt in the middle of the ring. What do you think about that? We've talked about this before. Chances are that is going to be one of the main events. Whether it's for a title or not, who cares? What do you think if that happens?
Great, but why Italy? Why did they choose that venue? Which is maybe it's because it's shaped like a boot.
Kick
him. So that's cool. I wish I was in Italy.
Yep.
I'll go there right now.
Yeah, listen, let's go. Since Jinder lost the belt, maybe they're trying to put a little steam into him still at some of the Indian shows that they have scheduled. So
the steam that Becky Lynch doesn't have anymore for her opening.
They might use it for Jinder, yeah. Triple H sent out a challenge to Jinder Mahal I think via Instagram or Facebook, basically saying that, let's make this the biggest match in Indian history.
I've been challenged by a Triple H before.
Well, which basically means to me, okay, we're taking the belt off you, but we still need a huge match with you because you're the only Indian guy here.
Yeah.
So Jinder versus Triple H is going to be at least one of the house shows in India, so stay tuned for that. Big return this week on Raw. Pictures floating around the internet of Paige showing up at tonight's Raw, or if you're watching this another day, at Monday Night Raw. Paige showing up. She could be the final member of the Survivor Series team for the women, although I am still hearing that Bayley is still set for that role. But regardless, it looks like Paige is ready to make her comeback. What do you think?
I think it's good. I like Paige. I mean, I know there's all that stuff that went down with
Paige. Del Rio.
She's very talented. I like the character, so I'd be all for it.
Couple more things really quick. Neville is apparently talking to WWE. Things are going well. He could be back by the end of the month.
That's cool. I just when you say that, I just picture him sitting on Vince's lap. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Can I have my tights back? Yeah, I mean, listen, that's a huge blow to them. I think they really need to see the worth in the guy. Forget about 205 Live and the Cruiserweights. This guy's ready for the big time. He's a great heel. He's got a great gimmick going. Whether it's he doesn't have to have a lot of. He comes out in his wrestling gear. He doesn't come out in anything else, and just talks a good game and can back it up. So let's bring this guy back and let's give him a more prominent role, shall we? Let's. Okay, what do you think?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Jack Swagger signs with Bellator.
I did not see that one coming.
What do you think?
Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger.
I watch Bellator. I watch Bellator. So yeah, I guess I'll be seeing him there.
Well, the guy was a champion amateur wrestler,
which is a good base.
Which is a great base. I mean, you see guys like Brock Lesnar, obviously, Kurt Angle. Some of these other guys who can do both. So we wish him the best of luck. And speaking of the best, one of the best ever to do it was Eddie Guerrero. Today marks the 12th anniversary of his passing. You said?
Is it 20 or 12? Yeah,
12. Yeah, definitely 12? Not 20. Yeah, it was 2005, I believe, when he passed.
Wow.
So, Eddie, rest in peace. We miss you. Viva la raza and all that good stuff. Chicken sandwiches are good. We just want to let you guys know that. So those are some of the rumors. Daniel Bryan also trying to get cleared by WWE officials so that he can wrestle a la Kurt Angle, which would be the greatest news of all time because he is my favorite. If you can get Daniel Bryan in the ring with Seth Rollins, if you can get him in the ring with Finn Balor, if you could get Daniel Bryan in the ring with AJ Styles, the money in that match out the window.
Wow.
I mean, out the window. That's like more like you're throwing it out.
Yeah.
Money, you could print money with that one.
Money in the bank.
So we need to see that happen. So on to what everybody's been waiting for, our Survivor Series preview and predictions. Get your Survivor Series 2017 tickets today by visiting StubHub, SeatGeek, or Ticketmaster. Pre-show, WWE Cruiserweight Champion Enzo Amore versus Kalisto. What do you think happens in this one? Professor!
The pre-show, I think Enzo is going to win.
Professor Enzo.
Professor
Enzo. I am going to agree.
Dr. Amore, what say you?
Ripps Enzo. I am going to go with Enzo as well. I don't see why they would take the belt off of him. He is 205 Live right now.
Nothing
annoying, yes, but clearly he's the
Marketable?
whole thing. Yes, he's what's going on right now. Definitely a lot of reality in what he's saying. He's definitely ostracized in the locker room. He doesn't care. He's going about his business. He's making money, and he's the champ. So what does he care? Enzo Amore beats Kalisto in this one somehow and retains the Kalisto champion. I mean, the Cruiserweight Championship.
Kalisto.
Christ.
It's pretty sad if Kalisto couldn't win the Kalisto Championship.
Yeah, somewhere in here we forgot Baron Corbin versus.
It's in here, is it?
Sakara.
Oh, I thought.
Well, it's in here, but it wasn't in the goddamn. Intercontinental Champion The Miz versus United States Champion Baron Corbin. A match that nobody could give two craps about. Who do you think's taking this one?
Didn't we just eat a Corbin sandwich? That was chicken.
Chicken Baron Corbin Blue.
Cordon Bleu.
Corbin.
I'm gonna pick Corbin on this one.
You'd go with Corbin?
I don't know why, but I picked Corbin. I think his song is neat. His theme song, his new entrance.
It is.
It's cool.
It is. I don't know what the hell's going to happen here. I think the Miz Taraj costs Baron Corbin the match. The Miz is hot. Maybe they put him up against Braun afterwards for Intercontinental belt match, championship match. Either way, I'm going to go with the Miz just because I don't know. I'm going to go with The Miz.
He's in better favor.
Although Corbin may win this, I might have to change my pick.
Corbin.
You know what? I'm going to go with The Miz. I'm going to stay with The Miz on this one. Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss versus SmackDown Women's Champion Natalya. Where are you going? How you doing?
I say Bliss. Whoever Bliss fights, I pick Bliss. I pick it.
Well, I'm going to say this. If it's status quo and Alexa Bliss takes on Natalya, I am definitely going to go with Alexa Bliss on this one. But if it's Charlotte, I would go with Charlotte. So, but let's keep it as it is right now. Alexa Bliss versus Natalya. I'm going with Alexa Bliss, and so are you. Good.
Yeah.
Raw Tag Team Champions Cesaro and Sheamus, the Bar, will take on the Usos, the Uggos, in a match. Tag Team Champion versus Tag Team Champion, just set up last week by Sheamus and Cesaro winning the Tag Team Championships on Raw. Who wins this one?
I'm going to pick the Usos.
Going with the Usos.
Yes, because they're family. Not my family, but...
Oos. I'm going to go with the Ba.
Juice. The Juisos.
I'm going to go with the Ba just because...
oh, my God.
I don't know. I just feel like the Bar are the hot team right now, and they're going to win.
Who would have thought? They're actually way farther than I thought they would have. Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Women's 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series elimination match. That's a mouthful. So, I mean, we can try to name all the people in this match. So let's see. For SmackDown, we've got Becky, we've got Charlotte, we've got Naomi, we've got Carmella, and who else do we have?
Nia Jackson?
Nia is on the women's team on Raw.
Oh, that's right.
Nia, Alicia Fox, Sasha. We've got Asuka, and then a surprise person. Asuka. So Becky, Charlotte, Naomi, Carmella, and Tamina, I believe, are the teams. So out of those two teams, not even knowing who the fifth member of Raw women's team is, probably Paige or Bayley, who do you think will win this match?
You know, I'm just going to pick SmackDown because they had the cojones to beat the crap out of the locker room. And I'm going to pick them for the men, too. SmackDown.
You're skipping ahead, you rat bastard.
You rat bastard.
I am going to go with Raw on this one. I'm going to go with Raw, and I'm going to say that no matter what, Asuka will be left standing. She's never lost. She's not lost in NXT. Obviously not in WWE yet either, but I don't see anybody beating her. If she does lose, it would be some kind of count-out or disqualification. There's no way in hell she gets pinned in this match.
I like the kabuki mask.
Listen, she's great.
When I come to work in a kabuki mask, people just make fun.
They run?
Of me. Yeah.
I understand. So I'm going with Team Raw. You're going with SmackDown on this one. Now, you said you're also going with Team SmackDown in the men's match.
Yeah, I'll just say that.
Okay, so the men's match would be Shane, John Cena, Bobby Roode. Yes, sir. Bobby Roode. Do you remember who the other people are?
Ziggler? Is he on there?
No, he's not in there. Why am I drawing a blank? Shane, Cena, Bobby. It's actually a pretty good team.
Crush from Demolition.
Demolition. Randy Orton would be on that team as well, and Shinsuke. Okay. And then we're going up against, we've got Finn, we've got Braun, we've got Joe, Cup of Nooch. We have got...
There's only half of you right now on the screen.
Kurt Angle. Hello. Half of me is all you need. And Jason Jordan.
That's right.
Who is going to win this one?
SmackDown. I don't know why. I just picked SmackDown for both, just because it's a good.
I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you why you're wrong.
You know, all of me wants to say SmackDown is going to win. Cena's on the team. Orton, Shinsuke, and the Shane thing. I think Raw is going to win. Because I think they want to showcase Braun. Now, Braun could get eliminated by some count-out or disqualification kind of thing.
What about the extraordinary man?
You know what, to be honest with you, I'm changing my vote. I am going to go with SmackDown. And the reason being, I think some kind of cahoots is going to happen between Kurt and Jason Jordan. Some kind of cahoots.
Some kind of horse pucky.
Also, Finn and Joe aren't really teammates, so maybe they'll play along with that kind of like hatred, even though they're teammates. And I'm going with SmackDown as well, like the Professor. Universal Champion Brock Lesnar taking on WWE Champion AJ Styles in a dream match, some would say. Who do you think takes this one?
I like AJ, but I'm just gonna say Brock because he's the bull, and then you have AJ as the matador.
Yep.
I'm throwing in all these big words.
Matador, like Tito Santana.
Yeah, the matador.
So you are going with Brock Lesnar, and I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar too, for many reasons. One, I think they could play the angle of Jinder costing AJ the match in some way. That way AJ doesn't lose anything, but there's no way AJ is going to beat Brock. Unfortunately, Brock is the man. They're not going to make him lose, but AJ should have some great offense in this. He'll probably take some great suplexes. He'll get in some offense and make it close, but I think eventually Jinder costs him the belt in this one.
Oh, I can see that.
Costs him the match. There's no belt on the line.
And, every time Brock fights, I always say that I predict that Paul Heyman's going to die.
Yes.
Something. So I predict that again.
And in a match that has not yet been announced, the New Day versus The Shield. Who takes this one?
Holy smokes. I like The Shield. They just lost the belts.
I agree. They're the Shield, and they're not losing to the New Day. Sorry, they're just not. New Day, I love the New Day. They're great, but this is the Shield, and they didn't get their moment last month because of that illness. So chances are they're going to get their moment now. So that is it for Survivor Series. So New Day versus Shield. Both the Professor and Dr. Ripps take the Shield. Cruiserweight Championship. Professor takes Enzo Amore. So does Dr. Ripps. Intercontinental Champion, The Miz versus United States Champion Baron Corbin. The Professor is going with Corbin, and I am going with The Miz. Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss has both of our votes versus Women's Champion Natalya. If that changes and Charlotte becomes the new champion and faces Alexa Bliss, I am going with Charlotte. He is still going with Alexa Bliss. Raw Tag Team Champions, The Bar versus SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The Usos. The Professor is taking the Usos on this one. I am taking The Bar. Women's 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series elimination match. The Professor is taking SmackDown, and I am taking Asuka and the Raw team. Men's 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series elimination match. Both the Professor and myself decided that we think SmackDown is the supreme team in this one, and we both agree that Brock Lesnar, through no matter whatever means of winning, is going to beat AJ Styles in what should be match of the night. And that is our Survivor Series predictions and preview. Suck on that, Professor.
Yes?
No, suck on that, Professor.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Do you have any words of wisdom for our fans before we bid them adieu and leave them for the Raw this week?
I was going to say, speaking of gimmicks, and I mentioned Gone with the Wind and all that stuff. The Bar, if they wanted to change it up, I think they're doing good now. They're finally gelling, but they could. We need a good, strong Jewish team. So the Bar Mitzvahs. You know what I mean? And just here's their finishing move. Now stay with me on this one. Because Cesaro likes to pick people up, and he could pick up Sheamus and throw him into people, and they could call it the Matzah Wrecking Ball. Come on. It's perfect.
The Bar Mitzvah. Rabbi Goldberg and Rabbi Goldstein.
They need a good, strong Jewish team. Have they ever had that?
The Hasidics? No.
It's about time.
I don't believe they have.
It's about time they have one.
They haven't gone down that route yet, but that would be something to think about for sure. I would root for them.
That's right.
Yes, the Goldbergs. Bill Goldberg would be their manager. Paul Heyman could talk for them.
Oh yeah.
So we've got a little something going. Maybe we got
the Toranators.
Jesus, the Jerusalems. I don't know what that means anyway. It was just the first thing that popped into my mind, but it was dumb, so I agree with you. Anyway, Professor, another great week.
Yeah.
Looking forward to what happens on Raw and SmackDown this week, as well as the big Survivor Series. And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the big NXT TakeOver card coming out. It will be War Games returning for the first time since the WCW days with the Undisputed Era versus Roderick Strong Insanity versus Roderick Strong versus the authors of Jesus Christ.
Rodney Dangerfield versus
man. Jeez. It would be Sanity versus the authors of Pain and Roderick Strong versus the Undisputed Era with Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. It should be great. Drew McIntyre. Yes.
Wow.
Drew McIntyre takes on Andrade Cien Almas. Couple other matches. I believe Pete Dunne is actually taking on Johnny Gargano in a match that's only going to be for the fans there to see, which is probably the match I would like to see the most. But nonetheless, we've got a great card ahead of you. Women's four-way for the NXT Championship. Should be good. That'll be the night before. So everybody, have a good weekend. Have a good week. Stay tuned. We'll give you our Survivor Series and NXT review next week, as well as previews for upcoming Raws, SmackDowns. Stay tuned for us. Fast food. Just look for Come Get Some. We're all over the place doing everything we can. Professor.
Yes. What does the bar do? I don't even know. I screwed up every time.
That's after being at the bar.
Yeah, no.
All right, let's shove this right up your tailpipe.
On.
All right, guys, enjoy your week. We'll see you next time. Come get some. Yeah. What did I hit? We're still recording. All right,
you made a fool out of me for the last.
I've made a fool out of myself. So come get some. Nope, that didn't record. Stop recording it.
Oh, yeah,
what are we gonna do?